What's going on, guys? ¿Qué está pasando? We're going to talk about Space Jam: A New Legacy. Now, before we do that, I just want to let you guys know I am part of a Spanish-speaking basketball podcast. It's called El Quinteto, just like the shirt says. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can check us out. Before we start talking about the movie, it's been kind of a hot day, so let me just change it to something a little bit more comfortable, so just bear with me. Ahora sí, let's get started. All right, so let's talk about Space Jam 2, because that's what I'm going to call it, okay? The story for this sequel is very simple. LeBron James and his son get sucked into this program. The villain, played by the Al G Rhythm, played by Don Cheadle. He did pretty well. I liked him. His son gets kidnapped. He's got to play a basketball game to get him back and save the day, right? Pretty simple. Kind of like the original Space Jam, but not really, which I did appreciate. It wasn't the same movie. It's not a recycled thing. However, the weakest part of this movie is actually, well, first of all, it's 2 hours long. It's a 2 hour long kids movie. No, papa, no puede ser. That's a lot to ask for kids these days. And this movie is 2 hours long. So right there, not a good start. Okay. The weakest part of this movie is that those first, I want to say 45 minutes. And it's that part where it's just really LeBron acting or trying to act. Now, I get it. He's a basketball player. He's not an actor. However, one thing I did learn in my 13, 14 years in wrestling is that when you're working with somebody, you need to hide their weaknesses. LeBron's strength is not acting. It's basketball playing. Even though on the court he does flop a lot, he does act. If you were to base the way he plays, he's a good actor. But when he's saying lines, he's not the best. And I can't fault LeBron for that. LeBron's strength is not acting. You know, it's basketball. And for that, I need to fault the director. That's the director's fault. When you see the scenes with LeBron, it's basically, from what I can tell, it just seems like he was saying everything line per line. They would have him say a line a couple of times, and they would have him say another line a couple of times. So it wasn't natural. And honestly, that's the director's fault. Now, the scenes with LeBron's son, or the kid playing his son, playing Dom, his name is Cedric Joe. He did very well. I was very happy with his performance. I kind of found his character a little bit more interesting than LeBron's character. His story for kids is very relatable because, LeBron, dad wants him to play basketball. He's really not into basketball. He's into video game, and he designs his video game, even though the video game is kind of NBA Jam, but on steroids. But anyway, so those scenes I enjoyed a lot. Now, as soon as Al G Rhythm kidnaps Dom, that's when the movie kind of like takes a nosedive, because that's when it's LeBron meeting Bugs Bunny. And that's where the movie turns into basically a teaser, trailer, commercial for every property that WB owns, including and especially The Matrix. So Warner Brothers is kind of letting you know that Matrix 4 is going to come out soon. So that kind of was overwhelming. I mean, it was this commercial. So that to me was very distracting. As much as I'm criticizing LeBron's acting in the movie, one thing I do have to give him props on was that he took the opportunity not only to make fun of himself, but to just really, he addressed so many elements of what people criticized about him that I appreciate. I did appreciate that a lot. Like, there's a scene in the movie where Al G Rhythm and Dom are talking, and he says, "Oh, that's your father's MO. He leaves. He left Cleveland, he left Miami, he left Cleveland again. Watch out, Lakers." So if you're a basketball fan, you appreciate those things, because LeBron actually took the opportunity to address all the things that he gets criticized for. I mean, he's even Robin in his own movie, and people always say, LeBron's not a Batman, he's a Robin. So I got to give kudos to LeBron for being the butt of a lot of jokes. I don't think Jordan would have done that, but then again, that's why Jordan's a GOAT. He's not. But anyway, so LeBron, I think that took guts, and I appreciate that. So points for that. Now, having said what I didn't like about the first 40 minutes of the movie, when we get into the element of the game, that's where the movie picks up, because that's when you actually have him interacting with the Looney Tunes and the Goon Squad, and you have the actual game. And the actual game, I wish I could have actually watched, because I'm watching it with my kids and my wife is looking at me, and she says, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I want to watch the game, but I'm distracted by everything that's in the crowd." Now, if you're going to watch the movie, you need to prepare yourself for this, because the actual game is just, for me, it's just sensory overload. There's too much going on. I wanted to appreciate the game more, like the actual action part of the movie, and I'm going to have to go see it again. If you haven't seen the movie already, I'm going to let you know. It's not a spoiler because you can see this in the trailer. the audience is made of, half of it is just regular people that were sucked in. I'm not trying to give away any spoilers. And the other half are like every Warner Brother movie character that could possibly exist is in the audience. So you're watching the game and you'll see Batman, or you'll see the Penguin, or you'll see Pennywise. I was surprised to see Pennywise from It in the movie. It got to the point where I was so distracted by the characters in the crowd that I really didn't appreciate the actual game. That didn't bother me as much as that it looked cheap. It didn't look like the characters. It just looked like if you would have gone to a Comic-Con. And I think the Comic-Con people would have pulled it off better. And I think that's where this movie kind of doesn't live up to the original, because at least the first one was a lot more focused. Here you have so many things distracting, and it's so long. I was thinking about this the other day after I saw it. I'm like, you know what? This movie is a perfect metaphor for what people criticize about LeBron. He just can't do anything on his own. He needs he needs Batman, he needs Superman, he needs Wonder Woman to come in here. He needs all these other things to help him make a successful movie. And Jordan just needed Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan. That was pretty much it. Now, before you say it, I'm going to say it for you. This movie was not made for me, and I understand that. It's a kids movie, and not only is it a kids movie, but it's for today's kids. And I understand that, and I've made my peace with that. Didn't matter if I didn't like it. My kids liked it, and that's what matters. All right. So I'm going to be very fair with my rating for this movie. I'm going to give Space Jam: A New Legacy, I'm going to give it 3.5 daggers. So Space Jam: A New Legacy, let me know what you think. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you agree? Did you disagree? Please let me know. And if you liked the video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe for other videos, including reviews, unboxing, reactions, and all that other fun stuff. So till next time, take care. Nos vemos la próxima. See you later.